following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Go Cowboys! This is the Players Lounge, broadcasting live from Dallas Cowboys World Headquarters at the Star. Now your hosts,
Barry Church, Danny McCray, and Newy Scruggs.
We are all back together. Finally, the new dog has come back to the Star to be with the fellas, the former safeties with the Dallas Cowboys. Danny McCray, the national champion, LSU
national
Tigers.
champion, reality superstar.
Okay, we'll see what's in store with their new head coach this year. I'm looking forward to what Brian Kelly can do. The Toledo Rocket himself, the Hall of Fame Rocket.
This is true.
There's Rockets and there's Hall of Fame Rockets.
This is
For
different.
now.
This is different.
For now.
Got to pay my dues.
I heard they're removing buffs.
I think they just need to just come on up and just ask, just have the team send a message. Please, Barry, please give to the Rocket
4250?
Club.
Was it 42? You know what? I got y'all, Toledo.
Barry,
I got you.
I want you to check this out, okay? We've been
happened?
up there in California and in Denver. Now he in this Texas heat. Now look up.
Over there sweating like a
He's not used to. He's not used to.
I'm Newy Scruggs, but
Jack
actually,
Black.
That's Jack Black.
I'll tell you what it is. Okay, I'll tell you why I'm still sweating.
Yeah, what's going on? It is.
I did a spin class at 12:45.
Okay, all right.
So this
Oh,
spin
man.
class,
You still.
jumped out the shower,
still
got in here,
pumping.
put on clothes. So yeah. So
Did you work out while you was on vacation?
Yeah,
Training
little
camp. You
bit,
worked out?
little bit,
Okay,
not
little
enough.
bit. So-
Not enough to offset all the good food out. Okay, not enough for that. But we got a little bit in.
I gotta ask you a real quick question.
Yeah.
man. Is the green? What's it called? The green chili out there? What's it called? That
Denver.
Is
Denver,
that
the green
Denver?
chili.
Is that really? They say it's the best thing since sliced bread.
It's really good. New Mexico has a really good stuff because they have those Hatch chilies, like one of your little shoo spots, Central Market by your home. They're doing it right now. They're roasting them.
Okay.
I would advise you to go get some. So they do with green chili. These Hatch chilies, they do it like what Forrest Gump talked about the shrimp. You can do anything with the green chili. So you want some pork sausages in the morning, put the Hatch green chili in there. You can put it in your burger. You can put it in your in chicken. You can put it in cheese. You can put it in potato chips. I mean, they're doing it with everything. They put Hatch chili ice cream right now. So this is the thing. So I actually made some today. So it's all good. It's all good. So I'm missing California, but I'm not missing the grind of it.
Okay.
Because you'd have to be up in the 7 o'clock hour, get yourself going, and then you got to get on the road by 9:15 so you can get over to practice to hear Coach McCarthy at 10 o'clock and all that kind of stuff. So I'm kind of glad to have a little bit of a normal day.
There you go.
I ain't gonna make fun of you for that.
Yeah, I ain't.
Because we know time's a little later.
Man, over
It's
there.
okay.
It's all good, though. My boy was working out
Yeah,
there.
yeah, he was
man.
grinding,
He was
man.
out there.
And after the preseason game, I was done. I want to go home. I had to watch that. I want to go home. I don't want to see any more.
You had to deal with that yellow flag.
And after McCarthy's press conference, I don't want to hear anymore. I'm going home. 17 penalties, 129 yards. And so you got to remember, so we're there in the stadium. So you sitting there waiting, you're at home watching it, chilling, whatever. We sitting there watching it. It's like, wow.
Another one.
Wow.
DJ, another one.
Look, there was 17 of them. The worst one for me, okay, let's start right off. The worst one, Boss Man Fat. They line up for a 57-yard field goal at the half.
You jump offside?
You jump offside.
And you the edge guy, too. It ain't like you in the middle. You on the edge.
You the guy who's supposed to get everybody else.
Yeah, you know how hey, back up a little bit, back up.
He's the guy who's supposed to tell everybody else to be on sides.
And he was lined up himself offside.
So it's a 57-yarder. So it's good. That's a tough kick. Even up there with a field goal kicker as good as McManus is, it's still a tough kick. Mm-hmm. He misses it. Like what? Offside. Number one. Like, this dude after he was getting toasted all first half anyway.
You called this. You called this. Was it Thursday?
What did he say?
Thursday he was saying that Boss Man Fat needs to get some reps and he needs to be better.
You did say that. You said Russell Wilson was having a day on him out there.
He was having a day. I said, how the DBs looking? You said Boss Man Fat needs some work.
Yeah. He ain't the only one.
He got worked. Okay, yeah. he got it wasn't even Russell Wilson doing it.
Yeah,
it was Josh Johnson.
It wasn't.
He was that. Let's ride. Look at him, number 1 in 25. Where we go? Let's ride. Let's ride. And then after a while,
they was going deep on it too. It wasn't even.
It was like it just snowballed, like downhill. Like it was like, all right, they caught one pass, and then it just seemed to just the rest of the day just snowball.
I was in the press box
effect,
calling.
man.
I was talking to my boy Vic Lombardi up there, Altitude Network. I was like, I said, they're going at 1 or 25. Next thing you know, they go on the sideline route right there at 25. And Nashawn Wright, who did talk about props to Nashawn Wright. Walking out of the locker room, we had missed him. Scott Agolnik had him come back. He came back. He spoke. And you know what, man? I have all the respect in the world because it wasn't his best game. They went at him. He made no excuses. Confidence is still high. You know, thank goodness. I mean, as a media member, I have respect for that.
And that's something that the corner position, you got to have that confidence. Because, I mean, you're going to get beat, as a corner. Those guys get paid over there as well. So you're going to get beat. And like you said, as long as he has a short-term memory, like as long as that this game doesn't dwell on him going into the next preseason game, hopefully he's able to build upon that, especially in the film. Because if you looked at, those plays where he was getting beat on, they were 50-50 jump balls. Just a little tweaking the technique here and there, looking back to the ball too soon, maybe could have been the difference. But I'm sure Joe Witt and Al Harris will get that man right.
This is, and I don't want to harp on boss man on Kelvin Joseph. I want to harp on him, but this is what happens when you cannot let a bad defensive performance turn into an overall bad performance. And a play like that, when you're offsides on a field goal attempt. Then, because you don't get that many opportunities on special teams. No. So you don't want your few opportunities to have a minus, a penalty. You can't afford to have that and then not just be bad on defense, but also be bad on special teams. Especially when you're in his position, you can't have those things happen. The
reason for me why it was the worst penalty of all right, you just move it closer for McManus. He kicks the field goal. It's 3. Now they go into the half. And the halftime's over. It's just like, what a bad, you've given them points at halftime. It was just so bad. And all along the way, we kept hearing point of emphasis. That's what McCarthy said at the pressers, man.
The penalties, talking about the penalties.
Yes, I was there.
Remember what Jared said, too?
Bruh.
Jared, we need to fix this in the offseason. I don't want to hear us in the season talking about this is what no. This needs to be fixed before.
So he was asked questions about it, and I tried to press him because he said, hey, it's not the regular season. So basically kind of what Mike said was, hey, it's in the regular season, don't be tripping. And make sure I'm hearing this right. You're saying it's not the regular season, but, this is going to get fixed. And he talked about, we got a lot of young players, a lot of guys who are playing for the first time, so this is to be expected.
17?
I mean, they led this week of preseason games by penalties by 5. I mean, the closest next to him was 12. I think the Patriots had 12 penalties. These guys had 17 out there.
The average was like 6.5 for the first week. And then somebody hit me on Twitter talking about, so when you go into the film session, how do you coach these when it's a wrong call? And I'm like, you coach the ones that were correct? What do you mean? Yes, 17 of them, so let's just say 5 of them weren't right. You still got another 12 that you can correct. That's how you fix it.
Yeah. And I understand there were some combinations out there that were different, and basically it was Denver's backups against your backups because both coaching staffs treated the practice on Thursday as the preseason work for guys like a Dak Prescott and Tank Lawrence. So both teams, okay? But still, 17 penalties, and you're watching Dante Fowler Jr.
That was just a bonehead play right there. And that's what I talked about when he came from Jacksonville. Like, the guy has all the athletic ability, all the talent in the world, but it's all up top. I mean, he kind of like plays through his emotions. And as you seen it right there, I mean, he could have went in there and kind of nudged the guy off a little bit, but he decided to go the extra mile. And that's the type of stuff, man, that'll cost you when the games really count.
Now, I don't like the late hit. Was that on Basham? Roughing the passer?
No, you're talking about Sam Williams. That was a terrible call. Yeah, that was a terrible call.
See, those are ones where you go into the film room and the defensive coach can't tell you anything to fix that. Hey,
he didn't lay on him. He just popped
him. You continue to play that way, and it'll get made up for, right? Somebody's going to go back and say that they did it wrong.
Terrell Basham had one. He did lay on him, though.
Bash had one. Tyler Smith had one where you just looked at it and you're like, okay, when the referees, because they go back and they look at tape, they'll go back and say, oh, we probably shouldn't have done that there.
Or you'll send it in, or the coaches will send it in after.
Right, but still, at the end of the day, 17.
Yeah.
I talked to one Cowboy official over there, and they said probably could have been 22.
That's wild.
So there's work to do, and Mike McCarthy said this is good. We've got work to do. So you guys tell me, because I know the fans right here who listen to the Players Lounge. How do you fix this? You guys play. Tell me, because I don't know.
I mean, which I'm sure they've already done, is they have referees at practice. And usually, when you have those referees at practice, they're giving you pointers saying,
I saw them there.
You might not want to line up here, make sure your hands are in here, or they're going to throw the flag during the game. But, they've had them there. And yet still they're getting, 17 penalties in a game, in a preseason game. So, it comes down to either you're coaching it or you're allowing it.
Well, this also plays into how you practice as well, right? How hard so if you watch the Detroit Lions Hard Knocks, right, and you say, all right, these guys are going to practice hard like they are getting ready for the game. If you go into a practice and you're not practicing hard enough for somebody to have to maybe be out of position or go full speed to where you can really get that look like you may get in a preseason game, then it's hard for you to be able to say, all right, we've been working on this in practice if you haven't been going as hard as you should be. All right. So it is to be expected that in the first preseason game, there will be some penalties. Across the league, you saw it. Problem is, we were still number one.
Still. I mean, and you looked at last year, a lot of it, I believe, got swept under the rug because they were winning. They were heavily penalized team throughout the year, but they were still winning and only bit them in the butt when it mattered most in that playoff game. So when it comes down to it, are you swiping this stuff under the rug or are you keeping these guys accountable?
4th and 1, offside. 4th and 6, they converted. Flag, hold it. It's again, he's like, you can't make this up. This was bad. Okay, this was bad, and McCarthy tried to spin it, and I was trying to make sure. He's like, man, I don't want to be a jerk, but at the same time, man, it's just not good enough for you to come on out here and just say, hey, they're all young guys. It's the preseason to be expected. Hey, it's not the regular season, so you know what? Don't fret. Nah, bruh. You haven't earned that yet. No, you haven't earned the pass.
He did the opposite.
Yeah.
He's done the opposite, actually, because the reason it's such a big deal now is because coming off of last season, as penalized as you were, the last taste you have in your mouth against the San Francisco 49ers is 14 penalties. So that's the last thing you have in your mind. And then the next time we see you in game action, it's 17. It went up. You beat it by 3. So yes, it is a big deal. And your point last week when, hey man, young guys are gonna play. They want to see young guys play. So that kind of takes the excuse away of like, you got young guys out there. These are the guys you're talking about that are going to be playing in the game. Yeah. You're talking about Tyler Smith playing in the game. Yeah. Like he's going to be one of your
Sam Williams. He's going to be another one there.
Josh Ball, left tackle, 3 penalties.
They are going to be. These are the young guys that you're saying playing. So they're going to learn from it, but it's not a good start, especially coming off what you came off for your last outing in the playoffs.
Okay, Danny, I'll start with you. You've played in this league. Game like this, which actually looked like the last preseason game when you play a bunch of guys. So what is practice like after they've got all the tape and, what do you review? How do you go forward from there?
First of all, we can't call it Garrett vision, but so you go in there and you gotta point these guys out, and then you also have to call out the ones that the referee missed because you said it could have been 22. So I'm sure there are a few more where you have to say, hey, look, guys, this is what we need to work on. These are the problems that we're having them. This is why we're having them. Okay. And then the intensity of that practice, as I spoke about earlier, has to go up because you have to say, hey, listen, the reason why we're seeing this like this is because we weren't ready in some instances for the speed of the game, and that's why we were out of position and making some of these bonehead mistakes. We weren't ready and prepared like we were supposed to be because of the speed of the game, and that's why you may jump off sides on the field goal because you're not focused like you're supposed to be because you're not ready for the intensity of playing in an NFL football game. So the intensity of the practice needs to go up, and that has to be led by the head coach. Those mojo moments have to be like mojo 3 periods in a row of like, we going live, right? We're going live, and it's whatever the Detroit Lions are, the way that Dan Campbell is trying to coach these guys and saying, hey, we can't wake up in week 8 and say, oh, okay, now we got the hang of it. Now we're rolling. Now you got to do that now.
Yeah, you got to have that practice tempo. Just got to click up a little bit. I know the veterans aren't going to want to hear that. They're going to want to go out there and go through the motions or go through their practices like they've been doing. But you got to kick up the intensity because, like you said, a lot of those guys are probably out of position and grabbing and holding because they're not used to the game speed being like that. So they might want to come back and make this tempo just a little bit more. But it's also not just on the coaches when it comes to these penalties. I feel like some of these veterans in the locker room, they got to make sure that they hold everybody accountable as well, saying, hey, what we put out there, those penalties, they're not going to be acceptable, because you'll hear one thing from the coach, and sometimes it'll go in one year out the other. You'll be like, whatever, I can fix it. But when you got your peers telling you that same stuff, saying, hey, you got to step your game up, you're costing us games, it might resonate a little bit more for these young players.
All right, Danny McCray, Barry Church, let's get our first break in here. When we come back, give me one player that you saw the game and you said, you know what, I like what I saw. And I'm going to give you the name of one player who I feel like took a little bit of unfair criticism from Cowboy fans on media during that Broncos preseason game that the Cowboys lost 17-7. This is the Players Lounge on DallasCowboys.com radio.
With Smoothie King's original Angel Food and new Angel Food Slim without added sugar, you no longer have to choose between treating yourself and hitting your goals this summer. You don't have to choose between great taste and feeling great. Because at Smoothie King, every blend is made with whole fruits and no syrups, so you can satisfy your cravings without compromise. The only choice you will need to make is which one is best for you. Try our classic Angel Food or the new Angel Food Slim, blended without added sugar. Smoothie King, rule the day.
Nobody protects you from mayhem like Allstate. I'm a broken traffic light. Stop and go is the name of my game. It's easy. You go, they go. Or was it, they go, you go? And if you have the wrong car insurance, these repair costs could stop you in your tracks. So get Allstate's new low auto rate and be better protected from mayhem, like me.
Not available in every state based on coverage and limits selected. Subject to terms, conditions, and availability. In most states, prices vary based on how you buy. Allstate Bar and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Attention Cowboys fans looking for the best shave of your life. There's a new official razor of the Dallas Cowboys, Shave Logic. Imagine not having to buy blades as often and getting more smooth shaves than your old razor, guaranteed or your money back. After more than 10 years of research and over 150 company patents, ShaveLogic is proud to offer Cowboys fans a special offer. For a limited time, visit ShaveLogic.com and get a free $10 gift card with your purchase. Go to ShaveLogic.com now for more smooth shaves guaranteed.
The Cowboys way, where 16 Hall of Famers and 5 championships shows us what success looks like. Where turkey is always the second best part of Thanksgiving Day. Where we are all defined by one single thing, the star. Where we as fans know it's our job to keep the tradition going. Bank of America is proud to be the official bank of the Dallas Cowboys and to support the quest of living life the Cowboys way.
Copyright 2020, Bank of America Corporation.
Back to the Players Lounge.
All right, Players Lounge, back together, right here at the Star. Barry Church, Danny McCray, Newy Scruggs. Hey, come watch the Cowboys practice during training camp at the Star, presented by American Airlines. Open practices will take place on back-to-back nights at the Ford Center at the Star in Frisco. Join the Cowboys for Cowboys Night, Tuesday, August 23rd at 4 p.m. Open practice is going to be Wednesday, August 24th at 6 p.m. And if you need some information, visit thestarinfrisco.com. All right, let's talking more about that first preseason game for the Cowboys. By the way, their second one will be in Los Angeles against the Chargers Saturday night. I thought Cooper Rush took a whole lot of hits from folks on social media, and one thing about being there at the game and seeing the whole view, the guy was under duress. And some of the guys, like Josh Ball, who didn't play last year, okay, it was a struggle at times. Tyler Smith's a rookie. It was a struggle. You go out there, you have 2 starters on your offensive line. You got Tyler Biadasz and you got Terrence Steele. Connor McGovern at right guard. So this offensive line had issues.
It's worrisome.
And I know people were like, oh, this guy stinks. And then Ben DiNucci came in there. Oh, look at DiNucci.
Side on DiNucci.
Pittsburgh representative.
And I'm sitting to myself saying, okay, so at the end of the day, the Cowboys' 3rd and 4th stringers are better than the Broncos. But when you talked about the back, you just backup on backup, Cooper Rush did not exactly have the cleanest pockets in the world at times. And I know people say, well, that's your job. And you, folks, it's easier said than done. I mean, that's my opinion. So you all tell me what you thought of Cooper Rush.
I was watching that game, and I thought he didn't have the cleanest of pockets. I'll give you that. There was a little bit of pressure on him, but overall, I just didn't think he performed well at all. A lot of those passes, he did have time, and for some of them, he did have time, and he kind of airmailed them, and then he threw an extremely bad interception on that. I think it was an out route to Tolbert where it was behind him by a lot, and then the corner was just sitting right there in his hip pocket. Well, let me take these. So, I understand he wasn't playing with the ones, and he was playing with a lot of, backup players and here and there, but overall, I just didn't think he did anything to solidify that backup spot. Going into the game, I thought, all right, Cooper Rush got to do a couple completions here and there, and he got the thing locked up. But now, as I look at it, he might have opened the door a little bit for Will Grier. He might have opened it up a little. Will Grier didn't even play in the game, and now he has a better opportunity to supplant him as the backup quarterback by not even playing. Cooper Rush went out there and look. At all counts, he did not look good.
I don't think he played well, but I don't think that Will Grier is coming to take his spot.
I don't know.
I do think, like Newy said, there are some other circumstances that were going on in that game, specifically the offensive line, which we all knew would struggle. Yeah. We had an idea that they would struggle. This is Tyler Smith's first NFL game playing left guard. All right? And I thought it, for it being what it was and him not playing tackle and being that guard, I kind of like some of the stuff that I saw from him. Some of the physicality, the nasty that you heard about. I think you saw that in the game. Yeah. For his first outing, I'm all right with it. Cooper Rush, I don't think he played bad enough to where church.
I don't know, man.
He missed some throws, right? He missed some throws. He made a mistake on location on the interception, but
it wasn't his finest moment. But at the same time,
it wasn't his worst. It wasn't just horrible to where we need to release Cooper Rush and let Will Grier take this.
I don't know.
This is, and how do I word this nicely? Will Grier could not have done much better.
I don't know.
And I say this because I don't think we're talking enough about it. Nick Eatman brought it up a little bit today on the break. The biggest worry right now for me on this team is this offensive line.
Oh, yeah. That's worrisome for real.
So you can sit up here and say, oh, you know what? He opened the door for Will Grier going out. Proceed. Because if they run out this on Saturday night, it could be bad too. There are issues. Josh Ball's a guy Josh Ball was hurt all last year. So this was his first time out there. He had some nice plays, but he had plays where he got exposed. There's some plays where Tyler Smith got exposed. So they, I give McCarthy in terms of, hey, you had some young guys. So you put out two dudes on the whole left side of the offensive line who hadn't done it in the NFL level. That thing moves fast. You guys know. I mean, and then you said first time, so you had practice. Bruh, they weren't exactly stellar in practice either against Denver. I mean, Denver won the practice, won the game.
Yeah. So he should. I mean, this ain't Cooper Rush's first go round. He should understand. He should understand what he got. He should understand what he got in there. You know what I'm saying? All right, let me get the hands. He was not even accurate though. I could see if he was okay, the receivers were dropping passes. But he wasn't nowhere near as accurate as he needed to be.
You know what this is?
Yeah. Listen, we've seen it before.
You know what this is?
What is this? What is this, Newy?
I think you're still mad at Cooper for beating your boy out.
Oh, we all know. We would not have if Double G. See, now y'all get me on air. If Double G was in this situation, there wouldn't be a backup battle because he'd just be locked up.
He got beat out already.
No, he didn't. All right, they just gave it to Cooper Rush.
They gave it to Cooper
Rush. Back to Cooper Rush this year. All right, he was not good. He was not good on Saturday.
So remember whenever we brought up something about Garrett Gilbert and he would roll back into that Pittsburgh almost win? Yeah. They didn't win?
They didn't, and they did not win that game.
They didn't.
Do you remember Halloween night?
Minnesota?
Yeah, you remember Halloween night?
Minnesota, yeah, Cooper Rush played good.
300 yards.
He played well.
And that was regular season.
He played well.
So with a real offensive line?
He played well.
So we know what he looks like.
Yeah, last year.
Here we go.
Last year. What were we talking about?
So I'm glad you brought that up because that was a question in the media session that we asked Cooper, we asked Mike McCarthy and Doug Nussmeier. How much collateral, how many chips do you have in the back pocket because of that Minnesota game? And they said, yeah, that's big to them because they've seen him do it, that he does know what they're going. Now, in Cooper's defense, I don't have anything locked up. I still feel like I'm out here battling. And Will Grier has looked good at times. But I'm just telling you, man, what I saw Saturday, I don't think Will Grier could have done much better.
No, let me tell you this. Church knows
with that group.
Church knows, like I know, all right? When teams around the league are going to find out how good a player may be and if they should pick him up, they ain't watching no preseason tape, especially if they got actual in-season footage, all right? So, however he played at this time, when you think about Cooper Rush, guys are going to go watch that Minnesota game and say, this is what this player is, because they know he's playing with a full deck of cards at this time. He has everybody that a Dak Prescott would have, and he went out there and performed and got a win. When to be honest, not a lot of people picked the Cowboys to go win that game.
Hey, I didn't pick them. But I'm just saying overall, I didn't think he performed well, and I'm just saying I think he opened the door a little bit for Will Greer. He could have shut the door completely. It could have been shut and locked, and you need a key pass like this door to get in.
He left it open a little bit.
Just a little bit. He
didn't open it anymore because Will Greer was like, what have you seen?
We gonna see. We're gonna see this preseason game when it comes out.
That's a very good.
But I think he should have he had the chance to shut the door completely, lock it up, and we ain't gonna hear nothing more from Will Greer. He left it crack open.
Listen, Church ain't played with the threes in a long time, so he don't understand.
You see the Nucci out there?
No, you ain't.
You see the Nucci out there?
You ain't been out there and say because he be mad as hell. He be talking about, man, what you not in your gap? How many overfield tackles you think you would have had to make if you was out there with the three? I ain't gonna lie. When you go back to that Philly game, you ain't gonna. Yeah, I was upset. So be fair.
I just think he left the door open and slightly cracked.
And we're also talking about rookie receivers, tight ends. I mean, all this dude worked with was two dudes who are regular starters: the center, and the right tackle. Yeah. Everybody else, backups.
Shout out to Houston. Shout out to the great city of Houston, the great state of Texas. They got some weapons, man. They got some good guys out there. He has some weapons to work with. It just wasn't his best day, and that's okay.
And look, and this is just me, and you guys tell me. That's why it's the Players Lounge. So if you're McCarthy and the staff, do you feel good from the standpoint that okay, nobody can walk out here like they got it down? You can actually do some more teaching. There's room to improve.
There's plenty of room to improve with that with this team right now.
Yeah, I don't feel better about that.
Yeah, I'm like hold on. We grabbing, we holding. After the stuff that what I think the coaching staff would be highly upset on is those ticky-tack penalties. Okay, I mean you're gonna get a hold here, grab there, illegal hands to the face, whatever. You're gonna get those aggression calls. Okay. It's the ones that are egregious. The Dante Fowler one on the goal line, the jumping off sides by your boy Bossman Fat, the lining up off sides by I think it was Sam Williams on like a 3rd and 4, 3rd and 5. Those are things that you can control, and when you see guys,
4th and
1, you see guys making mistakes
it's
like
not
that.
even just those two, and also to throw that in. The situation of when the penalty happens, right? Because then it turns into like it could be bonehead or not, but now it's costing you a first down. It's costing you field position. It's costing you to give up 3 points to the opposing team. Yeah. Like the situational penalties that we were getting last season are the ones we like, come on, McCarthy, what are we doing? Like, how are we not being able to work on this? Is your team not focused in those big moments? And that's two. It's like you got a penalty. Oh, not just a penalty.
Yeah. Now you got does that fall squarely on McCarthy's shoulders?
It ends with McCarthy.
At the end of the day, the owner and the head coach came out and told us this was going to be point of emphasis and was going to get fixed. I was out there. Referee Brad Allen and his crew were there. By the way, shout out to Brad Allen.
That's your man's right there?
Yeah.
We went to college together.
Okay. All right, Pembroke.
I thought you about to say you gave you a referee shirt or something.
No. I posted on Twitter, man, me and Brad.
Oh, okay.
Come on, man.
My bad, man. I be scrolling, bro. My bad. We wasn't all on vacation.
You know what, man?
You still got the linen on like he in Cali?
Yeah, man. Boy, got the
I need the linen on because it's hot up here in Texas, man. It did take me because so you get off the plane. Actually, when I was walking to the car, so the family picked me and walked to the car, and it hit me. Because you go from that altitude, even though it's 95, you go from the altitude, and you come here and you breathe. I was just walking, just taking the bags.
That air is thick.
That's why he went to spin class.
There's no doubt. There's no doubt.
Got to get these lungs right.
That and I ate way too much green chili up there. But literally, there's a difference. Now it was funny when Neville Gallimore said the check engine light came on when he was out there. Now he had a nice game.
I got a question. Is that why they played him so long? Because he was out there in damn near the third quarter. And I'm like, he's a starter. When a lot of the starters, Odigizua didn't even have pads on.
I don't know, but he's healthy.
Yeah.
That's what I think about last year. Remember, he got the arm injury last year and missed a lot of games. So, I was happy to see him get some work and get out there. I feel good about Neville Gallimore.
Oh, that's how you start a game.
Oh, man, TFL off the rip.
He was hyped, too. He was like, I called it.
I told you. I told you.
Hey, look, and I tweeted y'all, and then all of a sudden, Newy sent me that, are we?
And afterwards, he was fine. We didn't ask him, you good? That's it? Oh, we good. And he said, hey, look, it takes you a minute to get used to this. He's like, it takes you a minute. So, you know one of the best sound bites on the team? Neville Gallimore.
Just go ahead, go to Neville.
Love Neville. Neville, it's like, you go to Neville Gallimore, you're going to get something that's interesting. So he's a good sound bite. You look for it. Let's go.
He's one of the guys you get right after practice.
Right. And Dak, Dak is going to give you just the politician talk. He's not as cliche as Russell Wilson.
Let's ride.
They've been making fun of Russell Wilson for years.
Oh no! Well, actually, in the press, it was after every little thing. It was everyone was all right. First down flag, let's ride.
Bro.
First and 10, let's ride. Touchdown in the look, we got a touchdown, let's ride. So apparently, when I was told in the press box in Denver, Russell's people were trying to trademark "Let's Ride." And apparently the Broncos are trying to trademark "Let's Ride" too. So when the Jumbotron play would come up, like that, "Let's Ride" would be there. So there seems to be a fight to see who wins.
Who's gonna get the trademark?
The trademark to "Let's Ride."
I'm gonna give it to the Broncos.
I feel like they've been saying that more. If
it's the Bronco, let's ride. Got all the stuff on there.
Now the owners from the Walmart family, they know all about how to trademark and do that business.
But let's ride in Walmart. You gonna walk in?
There's shirts out there. There's "Let's Ride" shirts and stuff like that. So we'll see exactly who wins that. But I'll be very interested. And if Russell comes up with a new one. If he doesn't, so they show he had
Let's roll.
We ride.
We ride, Bronco country.
We ride. So they were actually, the media was clowning Russell before in the game, looking at his social media. So before the game, somebody opens the door and he walks out. And he's like, all right, Bronco fan, you know what time it is, Bronco country. And he's got his shades on, and then somebody opens up the car door for him. And then you see some other videographer in the back. And, okay, let's ride. Let's ride.
Shout out to Russ, man.
Hey, he got us talking about it, man.
Did you see, I sent you guys, I sent you the video that we had. We the first press conference that I'd ever been at with Russell with the Broncos, how many cliches he went through. I tweeted it out. I mean, this dude went through a bunch of cliches, so it's a trip. It's a trip. All right, we got to take a break. When we come back, the one player I liked in the preseason game, you guys got one. Let's talk about it next. Danny McCray, Barry Church, Newy Scruggs. This is the Players Lounge on DallasCowboys.com radio.
With Smoothie King's original Angel Food and new Angel Food Slim without added sugar, you no longer have to choose between treating yourself and hitting your goals this summer. You don't have to choose between great taste and feeling great. Because at Smoothie King, every blend is made with whole fruits and no syrups, so you can satisfy your cravings without compromise. The only choice you will need to make is which one is best for you. Try our classic Angel Food or the new Angel Food Slim, blended without added sugar. Smoothie King, rule the day.
Attention Cowboys fans looking for the best shave of your life. There's a new official razor of the Dallas Cowboys, Shave Logic. Imagine not having to buy blades as often and getting more smooth shaves than your old razor, guaranteed or your money back. After more than 10 years of research and over 150 company patents, Shave Logic is proud to offer Cowboys fans a special offer. For a limited time, visit shavelogic.com and get a free $10 gift card with your purchase. Go to shavelogic.com now for more smooth shaves guaranteed.
Nobody protects you from mayhem like Allstate. I'm a broken traffic light. Stop and go is the name of my game. It's easy. You go, they go. Or was it, they go, you go? And if you have the wrong car insurance, these repair costs could stop you in your tracks. So get Allstate's new low auto rate and be better protected from mayhem, like me.
Not available in every state based on coverage and limits selected. Subject to terms, conditions, and availability. In most states, prices vary based on how you buy. Allstate Bar and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
We paid how much for those lessons?
Shh.
She's doing great.
Oh, yeah, totally. Can you pass me a Pepsi Zero Sugar? Great job, honey! Oh, look at that. That's not the end.
No way. Now it's time for the encore.
You know what? You're right. 5 times? Not enough times.
For everyone who traded in rock concerts for their kids' recitals, you've compromised enough. Pepsi Zero Sugar. That's what I like.
Back to the Players Lounge.
Are you a Cowboys fan who spices up the game? Nominate yourself or a friend to be the Cowboys Fan of the Year, presented by Captain Morgan, and win a trip to Super Bowl 57 in Arizona. Nominate today at DallasCowboys.com/Fan of the Year. I'm imagining if Miss Price enters, everybody else going to lose.
I'm about to say, she got to win that. She got to win that. Or the guy with the, I forget his name, but he has those big helmets all the time. You know what I'm talking about, with the glasses on.
Helmet man, but still, I mean, Miss Price.
Miss Price getting the dub.
Yeah, it's a wrap.
We heard Miss Price. Everybody,
you can't not hear me. You can't not hear Miss Price.
Barry, baby, Dad. Oh man, let's go Cowboys! So
doing it for years. Yeah.
So apparently that's supposed to be the last training camp for Miss Price. So we'll see. Yeah. So we shall see. We shall see. Players Lounge. Newy Scruggs, Barry Church,
yes sir,
Danny McCray. Talking about that Cowboys' first preseason game. Look, we've hit on a lot of bad. You lost 17-7. There's some things that you looked at and you're like, don't know. So can I say something that I did like?
Yeah, please.
Okay. Peyton Hendershot.
Tight end.
It just says 2 catches for 13 yards, but I go back into, before camp, I was kind of looking at like, who are some guys that I want to see? what can they do? Jake Ferguson's the tight end they drafted out of Wisconsin. Mm-hmm. Hendershot is from Indiana. So I was kind of looking at, okay, what did what did each guy do in college? Hendershot's production was kind of right there with Ferguson's. Now, we know Ferguson's in Wisconsin. Wisconsin go run the ball first, but still. I looked, I was like, okay, let's see what they can do. They kind of have some of the same build. And I'm looking at Hendershot, I'm saying, okay, this would be a guy worth looking at. And I saw him getting better during the game. I'm like, okay, now this is a gamer. Like this guy, this is one of those guys, and I mean, and not that he practiced bad, but in the game, I thought he flashed. Like, okay. And so, and I come into this, and I talked to Lunda Wells a little bit about it, but let's say you can't come to a long-term agreement with Dalton Schultz after the season, and he leaves. They've got Sean McEwen they like. Ferguson has flashed. Hendershot has flashed. So, to me, if I'm the Cowboys, I look at this from the standpoint of, all right, can we go ahead and develop another guy? They did a nice job of developing Blake Jarwin. Yeah. Unfortunately, he just got hurt. Yeah. And you guys know how that happens. Yeah. So I'm looking at the Cowboys like, okay, it looks like they've got 2 players here that they could develop. And I don't know how the season will go, but I look at these 2 guys and say, I would feel good if I'm the team. And, oh, by the way, you've got Sean McEwen, who, I like what he can bring. Yeah. So I'm looking at the tight. This is what I feel. The tight end room is nice. Yeah. That's just what I feel. I think the tight end room can develop and be nice.
Is it nice enough for the Cowboys to really be thinking that way of like, all right, we're not gonna bend over backwards to get this deal with Schultz because our rooms actually looks pretty good.
Okay, good question. Here's how I'll answer it. Dak only signed a 4-year extension. This is year 2. So that thing's coming up. You're going to have to give Diggs another contract.
Yep,
you're going to have to pay CeeDee Lamb. You're going to have to pay Micah Parsons.
Yeah.
So that means somebody's not getting paid. And as much as I like Schultz, you get to the point in time you ask yourself, well, we made him. Can we make another one?
I think you can. He's a good tight end, but I just don't think he's dynamic enough to where it's like this guy is a can't miss. We got to have him on our offense. You
got Tony Pollard. What are you gonna do with Tony Pollard after the season?
Yeah.
You may need to go invest in another receiver along the way if it doesn't work out right. So along the way, I just look at Dalton Schultz and I say, this is a good player. He's a good player.
Yes, very solid.
And I told Stephen Jones this when we were in California. I said, you know what? You guys have paid some good players great money. And it's not just them, but this is the problem. You lock yourself into a guy, and he's not that good, make great money. What do you end up with? The Dolphins and Byron Jones. I love Byron Jones. You talk about a stand-up guy, good dude. You all know him. Good player. The Dolphins made him the highest-paid corner in NFL history. Yeah. When he came to the team, wasn't even the best corner on the team. So you knew what you had to do. Yeah. You know Xavier Howard did. He looked around. Hey, excuse me.
Need some of them ducats. You need some of those ducats as well.
Right. So then you had to pay him. Yeah. And now, Dolphin fans, they're mad at Byron Jones. Like, what you mad at? You better read the statistics on the. He ain't Deion. But that's what happens. So trying to pay Schultz like Njoku and some of these other people. Like,
I don't think he's that dynamic. I think you can find another. I think you can find another Schultz.
And look, Steven said, "Hey, we tried to, but they had a limit of like, hey, we like you. It's like anything. We like you here." We like you. We don't like you there. We like you here.
We can live without you is what that means.
Yeah, that's exactly what that means.
If you don't want to get on board with what we got going on, then
they got other guys they have to pay.
We got other guys.
Yeah. So priorities.
They have other guys they have to pay. So Hendershot, for me, I was one of the guys I looked at. I just said, hey, he's a good young player. The kicking situation is unchanged. Unchanged.
He had his opportunity.
Not his. Okay, can I take up?
Bad snap. I know you said it. Bad snap.
And just as a guy who's messed them things up snapping in high school.
It was a bad snap.
My bad, dog.
My bad.
It was a bad snap.
I'll get it up next time. So that was an issue. That was an issue, but.
So you might have got lucky with that.
That's the only thing that might have saved me. That's the only thing that might have saved me.
Yes. Yes. It was not. It wasn't just, man, you hit it clean and you just hooked it left. No, you couldn't say that. The operation wasn't good.
It was a little,
The operation
wouldn't
wasn't
happen
good.
with LP, but it is what it is.
This is true.
It wouldn't have happened like that. I'm just letting y'all know. It wouldn't have happened like that.
The coach has friends. Yeah. That's all I can say.
I will say this. Shout out for Neville Gallimore, his one tackle. All right. When I watched him make that play, I was able to put Micah Parsons in there. I was able to put D. Law in there. And I was like, if these guys are healthy, the type of damage that we could do up front is going to be unreal.
It's going to be got a chance.
Unreal. I saw a flash of something that just what you saw when you were like, Neville Gallimore's going to be the guy. And I'm like, all right, listen, if you can get those three to be healthy and play to the best of man, it's going to be.
Imagine the rotation they can have on that, just on the interior part.
And Curse.
Neville, Odigizua, Big John Ridgeway, when he gets healthy.
Curse can have a real good year if he's healthy. Real good year. Okay. Yes. All yes. Right. There's more confidence. Yes. Curse. And
another good year.
I mean, he back to back. Right. He can improve. Okay. Like, there's two guys I'm looking at. Actually, I'll say three guys I'm looking at. Say they can be better this year. Neville Gallimore, J.K., and Parsons. I am going to hit I'm gonna blow past my digs when I said he was gonna get a second contract. Micah Parsons can be the kind of impact player like Luka Doncic. When you watch the Mavs or you see Luka Doncic, that's the dude.
He's that guy.
Yes.
He could be like a J.J. Watt-ish when he was in his prime.
In that scrimmage, the Broncos got to the cap, but there was times like, hey man, you weren't about to make that throw because he was coming.
He was right there.
He was whooping your left tackle. I mean,
so you didn't give AB no love? Because I thought you was gonna say Anthony Brown. I'm just looking at guys who continue to get better, and the contract that he signed was not a long. It was not a long deal. All right, and we keep continuing to say that he's getting better and better. Now, and they even spotlighted him as being probably having one of the best camps.
McCarthy said it numerous times and got on us. Hey, you guys in the media aren't giving enough love. Now I'll go in and say this: when you start to say, do we give Schultz an extension and pay him, or do we pay AB? I'd probably pay AB first.
I would.
If he's playing how the camp is and how he picking up where he left off last year, picking up where he left off. Oh, that's corner. A corner who can make those type of plays, I think, is harder to find than it is to get a tight end like Schultz.
So he'll be up the same time as Diggs, right? Because I think Diggs is up.
Look, it's if he's not up a year before, they're
gonna be close.
They've got a bunch of contracts that are coming. You're gonna have Diggs, you're gonna have CeeDee Lamb, you're gonna have Brown, you're gonna have Michael Brown. You got a little chunk of guys that are right there that you're gonna have to pay, and then you got to look at Neville Gallimore. There's gonna be guys that are coming up here that they like. That they like.
Tough decisions.
And how do you prioritize? And oh, by the way, Dak Prescott, because of that, it's on a 4-year contract. At some point in time, you're going to need the TV money. You're going to have to figure out, hey man, can we get you on a longer term deal so we can go ahead and make the cap work a little bit better. Yeah. I mean, Dak and his agent timed it perfectly. We got a short little deal here. We're gonna be right back at this bite at the apple. They're talking about that in Denver with Russell Wilson. They're like, hey, he's about to get paid again. So when you look at the Cowboys, hey, you got $20-something million, and why is this money sitting here? Because
they got a lot of decisions to make.
People we're going to have to pay. And by the way, as we get ready to go out of here, Anthony Barr's huge.
he tall and like he just man. All right.
Made you feel more like better about him coming to the squad, huh?
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
Make you feel better about it.
We gonna see. We gonna see.
First got to get off the bus.
When he's standing over you, Church, when you look it up. Aye. When you're doing that, Church.
Is he gonna be changing lives though? I don't know.
Put him on a pitch count, man. Put him on a pitch count. You'll be all right.
I can see him as a situational guy for sure.
And that would be perfect because you've got Parsons. You've also got Leighton Vander Esch. So far has been healthy, having a nice camp here. They've been playing Sam Williams some over there. So the ability to have options, 17-game season, we'll see. But I'm just telling you right now, I just looked at him like, this is a big guy. I mean, if you told me he was a defensive end, I'd have said, yeah. Linebacker? Bruh. I'm not saying they're the same player, but when I looked at him and he's not as big, it reminded me when I would see LeVar Arrington. Like, that's a big dude.
Yeah, LeVar is a big dude.
That's a big dude. Ooh.
He's trying to get you on board.
Can he still stay in space? Can he play in space?
I'm done trying to get him on board.
I'm just saying. Can he go in space? That's where they're going to try him, man.
And I've also Church doesn't know quarterbacks. That's okay. That's okay.
What?
You don't know quarterbacks.
How? How?
Double G.
He mentioned. Did he mention Justin when we were talking about if Dak was going to get paid? And Church was like, "Yeah, if we let him go, we can get the." Was it Justin Fields at the time? It was Justin Fields.
Man, you can't judge Justin Fields off of what he's doing in Chicago. Come on, that whole place is in shambles right now.
I'm just telling you what you said. I don't know. I don't think we're going to pay him. I think we're going to get Justin Fields.
Nah. Hold on. I don't think I ever said we ain't going to pay him. I said if we don't. I mean,
we were talking about if he should make more than Deshaun Watson at the time. He was like, I don't think he's $40 million guy. And I would pay him 40. Yeah. I would give it to
Church probably the guy that told Blake Bortles he was good. Like, I think you're good.
Hey, Blake led us to the AFC Championship. I ain't never going to say that real crazy bad about.
Then he led you right out the Super Bowl. As he was about to
this place been in the past 25 years.
Be honest, were you on the field? Were you thinking like we about to go? Did you think?
Oh, yeah, without a doubt. We was winning, but with 3 minutes left. Like, I thought for sure we just couldn't move the ball. It happens. It happens. I thought we was going. We got Brady.
But you got the bag, so that's all.
You got the bag. Shout out to Shaq Khan and them boys.
Speaking of Brady, we'll see him week 1, and maybe the Bucs will see him this week, or is it next week they're going to see him? He's taking some time off to do whatever he want to do.
I don't know what he's doing.
You can tell he's not playing for Belichick. You can tell he's not playing for Belichick
right now.
Do what I want to do. Hey guys, I'm out. 10 days, so I'll be back. And you know, if you're ownership, you can't say anything.
Dude.
This man has won you a Super Bowl. You have sold seats. You jacking up prices left and right.
You got rid of the coach for him.
You got rid of the coach, Todd Bowles. What can you say? Okay, I got the job because Tom wanted me. So it is what it is, man. This man is running the organization. We'll see if it becomes a LeBron-like thing like this past season. It's his fault. So we'll see.
I hope they're in turmoil. Cowboys get the dub. I hope it's all in turmoil.
Look, follow the show, okay? We tweet it out. Find us on Spotify, wherever you find your podcast. Players Lounge. Get the numbers up for us, please. Do that. Barry Church, Danny McCray, I'm Newy Scruggs, and for everybody who helped make this happen, we appreciate you. This is the Dallas Cowboys Radio Network.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys? Yeah!